Up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's the Pittsburgh Piledriverpodcast.
Breaking Kayfabe.
Welcome to our world where you always get the girl. You may lose a fight or two, but you'll win if you get through. Face up and challenge all you ever knew since you could fall. Always looking somewhere else when it's all inside yourself. I wanna play until I die. Don't wanna lose my reasons why. I race towards the sky in a world that never ends. I keep coming back for more. Keep coming back until I score. Always stronger than before in a world that never ends.
Well, what a time to be alive once again. There's wrestling things that have happened in the past that we've already talked about. Not a lot has gone on in the wrestling world between our last podisode and present recording time here today amongst the things and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an episode of the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast presents Breaking Kayfabe, and we're not going to be playing Among Us. We are going to be talking amongst ourselves about this, that, and the other thing. So if you have tuned in for wrestling talk, this is not the episode for you. If you have tuned in to hear us banter, discuss, potentially argue about any topic under the sun, then this just might be the episode for you. So little of this, little of that, little that, bit of bing, you know, do the thing, fucking guy. Tiger Bomb Tom, our illustrious cruiserweight champion, the king of the mountain, if you would, is here with us. Poot the Bard, the former cruiserweight champion, and I believe still holding the title of the longest reigning cruiserweight champion.
I believe longest, but
I was going to say it's either longest or most reigning.
it's not most. It's not most.
No?
Because we hot potatoed that belt over the course of a couple months. And that's by happenstance. But I think I still hold the title for longest.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. So Poot the Bard, our former but yet longest reigning cruiserweight champion, is here, and I am Ransom the Madman. I am the longest reigning advocate / tour guide / herald.
Yep.
For the cruiserweight champions. I can't lay claim to anything else. Maybe the shortest reigning or the worst reigning cruiserweight champion, because it seems like it's a once a year thing, and I take it for a month, maybe two, and that's it. I'm done for the rest of the year.
Well,
I'm a one and doneer.
This is not meant to attack Beef, since he's not here to defend himself. But Beef holds that illustrious title of the shortest reigning champion of one day. Now that's also, you know, considering that was the inaugural reign, but that's still up for debate.
I stand by the statement that I'm the first cruiserweight champion. Beef can go fuck himself.
Well, here we go. So we got our wrestling talk out of the way. And now,
you know what?
Now the actual breaking kayfabe begins.
Yeah.
Fucking Tiger Bomb Tom on a forklift match. Winner gets lay claim to the cruiserweight championship, and you know, my sweet love for the night. Whatever.
No, I've been.
I will participate in that match as commentator, because even if it was me against nobody, I probably still would not win the cruiserweight championship.
No, it's Ransom absolutely wins. Still doesn't win that belt.
Yeah, I win via DQ.
By
the title doesn't change hands.
By the way, I want to get this out of the way with the to close out the last of any wrestle talk there. We got some interested people up in old Clearfield there, at the IWC show, and I just want to put
interesting.
Yeah, there was interested and interesting. Both.
Oh,
yes. So It was a fun time. That I thought that they were back up there. I thought IWC was back up there another time in between our initial trip up and then this past Saturday, but they hadn't been because, you know, the fucking world shut down and everything, and, you know, mega cooties happened and all that. So so it was really cool to see them back up there and everything like that, and it's a good show. So again, you know, as we tell you all, go support your local indies, and if you get a chance, go out and catch IWC because they're doing good work. And that's all I got to say about that.
All right, so let's break kayfabe here and get into some chit-chatty talky talks. One thing you two might not even have heard or give two hoots about. Tom, maybe, because you do have kids.
Okay.
Poot probably, just because it's been all over the interwebs.
Somewhere.
And Poot does keep up on. He does tend to keep up on the current events. But did you see that the live-action Little Mermaid, like, trailer got up to like 1.5 million dislikes in 2 days?
I did not.
Yeah, because
no.
people are fucking stupid.
Whoa.
People are
then.
fucking goddamn dumb.
All right, so now look, hold on for a second here, hombre. Oh, that's out. His eye's out.
It's out. Damn it.
So, fill me in here, Poot. Is it dislikes because of the color of the actress's skin, or is it
Yes.
something else?
Yes, because everyone's getting all fussy because Ariel was cast, an African American woman was cast as Ariel. Hey, I've got an idea. Shut the fuck up. Who cares? You know who played Ra's al Ghul in the Batman movies? A white man. Fucking, like, I don't understand how race is a fucking problem in this day and age. I understand that might sound naive, and you might be looking at me, and all you listeners might be looking at me and going, Poot, are you dumb? Do you not pay attention to the news? Number one, yes, I do. Number two, it makes me cry. Number two, or number three, I work at a bank. I don't know numbers. Number three, the thing that bothers me is that this is such a fucking issue. Why is this a problem? It is 2022. Calm your fucking balls, everybody. And I would say calm your balls, calm your tits, but I guarantee you it's all the fucking incels out there that are throwing a fucking fit. It is a casting of a movie. I've got an idea. How about you go watch the movie, have fun, and shut the fuck up? I am so tired of negativity. I am so tired of shit like this being a fucking problem. She's going to do a wonderful job. It's going to be I feel like it's going to be a great movie because The Little Mermaid, that Ransom, I know you're a Disney fan, right?
I've been known to have watched Disney movies in the past, yes.
And Tiger Bomb Tom, you're a Disney fan?
I like Disney stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not on like my Disney Plus every single day or anything like that, but I don't hate Disney stuff by any means.
No, of course not. And but that's my point. Is that, like, does it matter to either one of you that Ariel is being cast as an African American woman?
Not at all. Who says there couldn't be black mermaids? We just didn't see them yet before. But
it is a non-fucking issue. It is a non-fucking issue.
Yeah, exactly. And like I don't understand. I think what people need to also like take into consideration is, especially like if you look back historically, as far as a lot of African American actors and actresses like not getting as many roles as white people and stuff like that, like from way back in the day, like it's come a long way, but it used to be a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. Now, Little Mermaid is how freaking old? It
was what, 91, 92,
super early 90s.
Yeah. So I mean, back then it was still a lot of stuff with race and everything like that still, I mean, obviously there's still issues today. This discussion proves that.
The
but
King
like,
riots and everything like that. Yeah.
But like a lot of stuff was still not people weren't as aware or self-aware, I should say. People weren't as understanding still, even back then in the 90s, as they are today. And I mean, and there's still a lot of work to be done in general, but yeah, I don't see why people would get their panties in a bunch about this. It would be the same thing. Like, honestly, I could care less if in another like 5 to 10 years or something, if they casted a Black Spider-Man or what, like, well, they already did with the Miles Morales.
Miles Morales is black.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, and you didn't see, did we get people giving a whole big fucking backlash about that?
No, because the only time you've seen Miles Morales cast in a Spider-Man, like, quote unquote movie was Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, but still, did people get their fucking panties in an uproar over that?
No.
Well, so what's the problem here? I don't get it.
Now, if they would have cast Miles Morales as a white person, would they have gotten all acted up? The only reason they would have gotten acted up is because it wasn't accurate to the comic books. And the other thing, you could make the argument, well, Poot, they're getting acted up because they're not casting Ariel correctly. The problem is, it's a fucking mermaid. They're a myth. Calm the fuck down.
Spider-Man's not real though either.
Shut up. Yes, he is.
Okay, fine. You don't know from Spider.
Yeah, he's with webs. No, but my point is, this is something that I go, this is the microcosm to me of people just want something to fucking complain about.
Yep.
Oh, there's a lot of people that if they're not complaining, they're not happy.
People are not fucking happy unless they're bitching about something. And it's like, man, look, and I just posted a thing on Facebook because I'm old. I just posted a thing on Facebook that said, the older I get, the more I realize I don't want to be around drama, conflict, or stress. I want a cozy home, good food, and to be surrounded by happy people. Fucking...
So you want to be a hobbit?
More than anything in the world. It's just more the thing that I'm like, there is zero, and I'm talking as like zero reason, like that people need to get fucking upset about this.
Yeah.
Zero. There are so many more important fucking things to worry about in the world than people getting mad that a talented African-American woman is getting cast as Ariel. Get fucked if you're whining about that.
They're a bunch of fucking glass cannons anyways.
Yup.
Can I give you my hot take on this?
Go.
All right. So here's my hot take on this thing. I personally don't care what race you cast in a part, as long as it is the best choice. That's what I want. I want you to choose the best choice. If the best choice is this lady to act in this movie and to perform the songs and do the vocals, then I'm 100% happy, because that's what I want. I want them to cast the best person for the job. And I don't care if you're going to make a live action Little Mermaid movie and you're going to cast Ariel as Black or Asian or Pacific Islander. Like, I don't care. I want the best person cast for the job. And if I see the movie, whatever movie it is, it's not just this one in particular, it's whatever movie it is. If you cast the best person for the job, I'm going to leave that movie happy because I saw some damn good acting. I saw a damn good movie. That's what I want out of it. I want the best possible casting. So if you're upset because it's not holding true to the old cartoon, I think you need to look past the fact that, well, in the cartoon, she wasn't this or she wasn't that or blah, blah, blah. That's fine. I mean, you can have that opinion, but my opinion in it is you need to cast the best person. If she's the best person for it, I'll see the movie and I will have no gripes at all about it. Now, if you cast her because she's an ethnicity other than white, because you want to come out and be like, well, there's too many white people getting cast, so we're going to cast this person because she's of this ethnicity, because, you know, what's that called? Woke.
Yeah, because you want to be woke.
No, I'm not on board for that. Now, if you cast her because she's the best, I'm 100% happy, because I want to see the best. I want to go to the movie and know that you cast the right person for the job. And I can't think of any other examples, but it's like when I hear, and I'm not gonna get heavy-handed in this, but I'm just using this as an example. When I hear politicians say, "Oh well, we're going to choose this person because they're a woman," I have nothing against women politicians. Is she the best? That's what I want. Like, I want you to elect the best people, the right person for the job. Same with movies. I want you to cast the right person for the job. And if the right person for the job is white, black, Asian, whatever, male, female, whatever, if it's the right person for the job, then I'm completely happy with it.
Right.
So to decry this movie because it's not holding true to the cartoon, she's not white, redheaded mermaid, I think you're missing the point. I think you're missing the point of the movie. The point of the movie is to be entertained and to leave happy knowing that the right people were cast for the right roles. And again, I just saw the trailer, but from what I saw in the trailer, she sounded phenomenal. I mean, she didn't sing a whole bunch. It wasn't a whole big long trailer that I saw. It was a couple minutes maybe.
But she sounded great.
Yeah. From what I heard, she nailed it. Like, she nailed what she was singing. So if that's the whole movie, like if the whole movie is her nailing it,
sold.
I'm 100% happy. I'll take my kids. We'll watch it. We'll all love it, and it'll be great. I don't know. Like, I don't know why people are in such an uproar, whether it's, you know, them good old bang bong bangers. Being like,
Yeah.
oh, this was a white girl. You can't kiss a black girl because she was a white. I don't know whether it's that, or whether it's just the movie purist apologists that are like, well, it's not holding true to the cartoon or blah blah blah. If it was gonna,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Ransom. I'm sorry. I keep trying to step on you.
No, that's all right. My final thing is that if it's going to be a shot-for-shot remake and everything's going to look exactly the same, what's the point of doing it?
Yeah.
Just go watch the damn cartoon. Like, if you're just going to make a shot-for-shot remake, everything's going to look the same, only it's going to be live people / CGI, because these people can't sing under the fucking water. What's the point of doing the movie
Wait,
then?
you can't sing under the water?
Not like these people are. But like, that's my point. You know what I mean? Like, why bother doing a live version adaptation of it if you're not going to have room for creative liberties?
Right.
Right.
Well, and that's
What's the point?
Also, I'm sorry, boys. 18 minutes and I have to pee. Keep talking.
Oh,
I'll
no.
be back.
Get leaked.
Oh no. Well, I'll repeat it for Poot when he gets back, but
Don't do
I have to. But the biggest thing that people have to remember is, you know, movies and television and all this. It's art. Art is
Sure, man.
Art is subjective.
Yep.
What somebody's interpretation of art, you know, may not be everybody else's cup of tea. And it doesn't have to be, but you don't have to be a fucking bag of dicks about it and, you know, be like, oh, this is terrible and blah, 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 blah. No, like, calm your tits, or, well, I don't know. I shouldn't say calm your tits because, you know, fucking, I don't
Sexist.
know. So I'm sexist, and somebody that's super woke will get, you know, fucking, that's non-binary or whatever is going to fucking come at me, bro.
Don't know what that is.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Come at me, bro, or sis, whatever.
That,
Yeah.
no, I still don't. I don't know.
Anyways,
Nah, like
I'm just taking a jab at people that are overly PC.
nah, I get it. Like
No, but the whole thing is like, again, I'm thinking back to like all the different live action things that have happened, you know, that Disney has put out now over the last how many years, because you know, we've gotten the Beauty and the Beast stuff. We had Aladdin. Did anybody bitch about did anybody bitch that they cast Will Smith and they didn't find somebody that looked or sounded like Robin Williams? I mean,
well, I was upset because they didn't cast an actual blue person as the genie.
how dare they?
Like, if you weren't going to cast one of the Blue Men group to play that fucking blue genie, I don't. No,
how dare they?
Not on board.
How fucking dare they?
Not on board with it. Hashtag blockade.
Yep. You were spot on whenever you said, like, if you're gonna do a shot for shot, you know, carbon copy of the film and stuff like that, or, you know, an animated film, but just, you know, make it all CGI, live action, everything like that, then, you know, yeah, just go watch the fucking original if you're that upset about it. Like, I
don't see the point in that.
Yeah, like you don't have to consume it if you don't want to. It's just like anything else. Like, I mean, hey, there's stuff out there that isn't necessarily my cup of tea. If somebody asks my opinion about it, I'll be like, you know what? I don't really like it. Or if I saw something and I thought it sucked, I'll tell you I thought it sucked. Like, again, everything is subjective. I'm sure there's somebody out.
I'm back, by the way. Hi.
My overall glaring point with it, the big thing to take away, Poot, and you being an artist, musician will agree, is that movies, music, television, all that, it's all art, and art is subjective, and that there is no, you know, definitive thing. If one person likes it, not everybody has to. You cannot be happy about it. You don't have to be a bag of dicks and a fucking glaring asshole about it, though.
Bag of dicks.
Bag of dicks.
You don't have to be a bag of dicks, but there is a threshold, and this is coming from someone who is, and I'm counterpointing you on this. The art is subjective thing. It's true. Art is very subjective. Like, myself, I actually kind of enjoy modern art, like abstractism, like stuff that's really weird, stuff that's, you know, seems like, oh, a 5-year-old could do that. Like, I you know, like paintings that are just like swatches of color or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy it. I have a friend who, she doesn't like it. Like, she thinks like, she's like, a 5-year-old could do that. That's not art. Because the argument is it takes no talent. At that point, it's more about the expression than it is the actual physical work. But the thing is, then you also need the backstory to that piece of art. But anyway, that's a whole nother can of, like, that's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down. But the art is,
I get what you're saying.
Art is subjective. Argument is, to an extent, I agree. Yeah. But once you get to the point of something like, gee, gosh, golly, I don't know, Romeo and Juliet starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Did you guys see that? Do you remember how big of a fucking deal that movie was?
I kind of remember seeing it. I know I watched it back in the day. It was Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes.
And yes, and in retrospect, on one hand, it introduced a lot of people to the original Bard. It introduced a lot of people to William Shakespeare, because from an actual like script standpoint, it was Romeo and Juliet.
Mm-hmm.
But the presentation of trying to bring it into the modern day, in my opinion, didn't fucking work, and I thought it was stilted, and I thought it was fucking awkward. I thought it was rough. I thought it was really, like I said, I feel like the best term is stilted. It was very stilted. It was something that did not need to fucking be done. And to me, I didn't like it.
To me,
I didn't like
no.
it. I
Should I?
but I
should I tell
love
you that I
Romeo and
enjoyed it?
Juliet. You
Should
know,
I tell you that I enjoyed it?
but there was a lot of guns in it. That's why you liked it.
Well, look, I appreciate a film with a good firearm, but let me tell you though, while I agree it was awkward in a way, I thought for the time, the modernization of it with the classical dialogue, I thought that was fascinating. I thought it was fascinating to see cars instead of horses. I thought it was fascinating to see guns instead of swords. Like the fucking gun on the side of it said 9mm sword. Come on.
I'm
And
trying
it's not just because of the gun. Like part of it, I'm not gonna lie, part of it is I'm a firearm guy. I love a good firearm. But I thought it was a unique and a neat presentation of modernizing the settings and the surroundings, but yet keeping the classical dialogue. Like they didn't modernize the dialogue at all. It was all original William Shakespeare time period dialogue. And I thought that was a fascinating way to make something modern but keep it classic all at the same time.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because it's been so long since I've seen it, but I kind of remember feeling the same way, like feeling like it was kind of neat to have, like you said, the modernization on the one hand, but still keeping the classic dialogue. I'd really have to go back and watch it now and have a fresh take because it feels like again, it's been so long, I hardly remember anything.
It was a niche film, though. It wasn't a classical film. It was a niche film that,
All right.
was, I think, meant for a particular audience.
I will make you guys a deal.
Uh-oh.
By the next Breaking Kayfabe, I will rewatch it. And I will give it another chance. Being an adult. Because I remember when I watched it on VHS. Yes, I'm old.
No, I get you.
I'll rewatch it. I'll rewatch it. I'll rewatch it. I will give it a chance. But Tom, this argument is both proving my point and disproving your point.
Oh yeah, no. I get
proving my point and proving your point at the same time. Because, for example, I look at it and I go, I thought it was trash. I thought it was it wasn't unwatchable, but like seeing. Ransom sees 9mm sword and he goes, "Oh, that's cool." I see 9mm sword and go, "Use a fucking sword." Like that's the argument. It's like, and that's the thing, is that it is subjective. I didn't like it. I thought it was stilted. Ransom and you thought it was interesting and compelling, which is fine. I'm saying
I don't remember too much of it. That's the only thing I do remember is the contrast of modernization setting to the classic dialogue. That's the only thing I remember, and I remember that being something that I thought was interesting. Now, if I go back and watch it, I may just say, like, you know what, like the rest of the setting was very off-putting and I didn't like it. I don't know. I just don't remember. That is the only one thing I remember about that.
I just remember watching it and being like going, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
Like I just remember being like, "What is this? This is weird.
Yeah.
There's too many Hawaiian shirts. I can't do this." Like,
is this might be Vice or Romeo and Juliet? What's going on?
So many fucking Hawaiian shirts.
I got a good example for you too.
All right.
Now I don't know how much you guys enjoy horror films or not. Ransom, are you a horror fan? Or?
Some.
Okay.
I love them.
More of the
love them.
All right.
Love them.
Now, Poot, are you more into, it could be either or both. Are you into like the more psychological thriller stuff or the like slasher gore stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Yes,
no, honestly, I like it all, but I lean more towards psychological horror because I think the scariest things in the world are the things you don't see.
Cool. Okay. I'm with you on that because I track on the same thing. So, have either of you seen and or heard of the movie When a Stranger Calls?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Ransom?
Heard of it. Never seen it.
Okay. Now, in my
At least
opinion,
I don't think I have.
yeah, it was like somebody. The premise of it is basically like this babysitter or whatever keeps getting these phone calls or whatever, and the killer is basically like just stalking her the whole time or whatever. I think it was set in like some sort of cabin somewhere out in the woods or by a lake or something. I don't know.
Always is.
It was basically like 2 hours of, hello? What are you doing? Quit bothering me. And then like the last 20 minutes of like running away from the killer because, oh my God, they were in the house. Go figure, somehow, some way.
What?
And then the movie was over. And I thought it was the dumbest fucking waste of 2.5 hours or 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back.
What movie was this?
When a Stranger Calls.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was the dumbest fucking thing. I hated it. I'm a big fan of the psychological thrillers myself. There was nothing thrilling to me about it. I'm like, okay, we get it. I don't need an hour and a half setup of like, I don't need an hour and a half of like you fucking, creeping around the bushes and like giving phone calls the whole time. Like you could have done something so much more substantial with that amount of time. Like, I don't know. I hated it. But again, if there's somebody out there that liked that movie, whatever, you're allowed to be wrong. It's fine. This is America.
Wow.
2.
All right.
Now here's and this is the other example I wanted to bring up of the whole art is subjective and whatever and all that stuff. And I agree with you to a point. Absolutely. Like there have to be certain constraints, certain limitations, because otherwise it's just whatever. It's a free for all. A lot of people, and I will say like die-hard fans of the Resident Evil series, like the game series, hated the fucking Resident Evil movies.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I heard that. I've heard that.
I am in that group after a certain point. After about the third movie, I was kind of like, I can do without them. The first movie I thought was fine. I thought there were people that bitched so much about it. It was nothing like the game at all, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
well,
listen.
yeah.
I was like, first of all, it's like you have to understand artistic liberties and artist interpretation. And you also have to understand how to take, if you are an artist, you have to understand how to make your art what's the word I'm looking for? Like you have to know how to put it out there and be able to get reactions that you want from people and stuff. So
yeah,
for people that weren't fans of the video games or whatever, this introduced Resident Evil in a whole new light. This introduced it to a whole new audience that maybe never heard of the games before or anything. And the fact that like went so long into the movie, like for those of us that were fans of Resident Evil and know like, okay, Resident Evil equals zombies. You went a pretty good chunk of that movie without like until you really got your first like zombie encounter, which I thought was really cool. I like that they set it up very well like that. I thought they did a pretty decent job, all things considered. Now, for the people that were like the hardcore fans and like like, oh, this isn't true to the game or anything like that, go read the books. The books are a wonderful adaptation from the games. Like if you read the actual Resident Evil books, I believe the author is, hang on, I'm going to give her a free plug here. Let me look on my bookshelf. I believe it's S.D. Perry.
Or else Stein.
Yes. No. S.D. Perry. She wrote the books based off of the games themselves. And in between game 1 and game 2, she did like an original like or an original one that was, it was nice. It flowed very well. I was like, well, hell, maybe they'll, go back and make games based off of the originals that she wrote or whatever. Cause I thought those were pretty cool. Like, it was, I was a fan. I'm still a fan of all of it, but that's the thing is like, it didn't have to be everybody's cup of tea, and it didn't have to be, the movie didn't have to be a shot for shot recreation of a video game or whatever. It doesn't have to be. Just the same way as whenever they came out with Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 3 remake, they weren't exactly 100% spot for spot recreation of the old games from PS1. They were pretty damn close. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Hell, I'd venture to argue Final Fantasy VII Remake was even better than the original because it dove in so much more to parts of the game, like in the whole beginning section of Final Fantasy VII. When you're in Midgar, you're in there for maybe like the first 8 to 10 hours in the original PlayStation 1 version or whatever.
Yeah.
And in the remake, you're like, that is the whole game, is like you being in Midgar and getting out. And that's at least like a good, like 30 hours minimum. So they expanded so much more in there and like really.
Well, they had the ability to.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's, as we go along and as we have better technology and more tools at our disposal to make and create and consume all this art and everything like that, you gotta like appreciate the fact that we have the ability to do that. Like the fact that they're doing this live action thing or whatever, like be glad that you have the fucking ability to have that. Be glad that that we can consume that, like instead of sitting there slamming somebody for for casting somebody of a different ethnicity than what you preferred into a particular role,
except for Halo.
Well, okay.
About video games and movies or video games and TV shows, except for Halo. That was abysmal. Fucking fight me.
Okay, so I gotta ask
see. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I didn't see it. I will take your word.
Oh.
Well, I know now. See, this is a perfect example of what I was saying about the Resident Evil stuff. So, like, Ransom is diehard Halo fan. Loves it.
Ridiculous. Like one of the biggest Halo fans I've ever met.
Yeah. So obviously to him,
me.
Yeah, man. He is going to be very, very passionate and very protective of what of the original artistic content that there is, and he's gonna hold it to a much higher scrutiny. So that's his opinion. I have not seen it yet, so I don't know.
Horrible.
But
holy
now
balls.
to the same
what
thing.
Made it so bad after Tom finishes his point?
Yeah, I was gonna say to the same degree, I heard that the newest, like whatever it was, the live action series or movie or whatever it was of Resident Evil that they put out recently, I heard that was absolutely terrible, and it was not going to be renewed for any more seasons or anything like that or whatever. I don't know.
Think I saw the series.
I don't know. There was something that they put out. I'm not even sure.
They did a series.
Was it on Netflix? Maybe?
I don't know. I don't know if it was Netflix or Amazon. I don't know.
It was something, but yeah.
I think it was. Wasn't it? It was. I know it was something I didn't have. I think it was either HBO or Apple TV or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't think it was Apple. I don't think it was Apple because I haven't seen it while perusing my Apple TV stuff. So maybe it was HBO Max.
I'm gonna look it up real quick after then once Poot asks his question and Ransom makes his point. But yeah, I didn't see it at all, but like the general consensus was it completely sucked. Now, is that going to deter me from watching it? Well, it's not going to jump up to the very front of my queue, but I still might give it a chance just to see.
I'm interested to see if you guys wind up watching the Halo series, if you've played through at least like the first 3 games.
Yeah, I played.
I'm interested to see your opinions on it.
I played everything except for the newest one, I believe.
I'm friends with a group of guys from across the states. We all kind of collectively came together in an online gaming group way back in the day when that was like a big thing. That's how we all met each other, and we're all like, Halo was our game. Like, we're all Halo guys. Every single one of them hated it. Every single one of them thought it was abysmal.
So real quick, the Resident Evil TV series from 2022 here, it is on Netflix, it looks like.
Fantastic.
There are 8 episodes, and apparently it is not being renewed for any more episodes after what 8 are already out.
Okay.
Again, yeah.
So what makes it so terrible, Ransom, as a Halo fan?
So this goes against pretty much every point that Tom made when talking about Resident Evil.
Okay.
This did not hold true to the books, the games, at all.
Oh.
Fucking Master Chief's helmet was off, and you saw his face within the first 2 episodes.
Oh, no.
You haven't seen this dude's face in fucking 6, 7, however many games he's in. Like, that's part of the mystique. That's part of the ambiance of him. Like, he's this faceless, unstoppable fucking soldier.
It was the same thing with Isaac Clarke in Dead Space, the first one. Like, it's even though he has a personality, you don't see his face. You never really give him a personality. You know what I mean?
Yep. And like this TV show held true to absolutely zero story of fucking Halo whatsoever, other than the fact that the UNSC, which is Master Chief's group, is against the Covenant, which is the aliens. That's where it stops. Like, it was complete, like, it has nothing to do with anything else. And now I get it. Creative liberties, this, that, and the other thing. Yes, fine. But
within reason, yeah.
I mean, still, but
well, I get your point. Like, if you're taking something that is established, like, you could make little tweaks here and there, like, just the same way. Like, okay, so you had The Walking Dead, widely popular TV show for a long time until it kind of wasn't, and all that based off a graphic novel. Now, when they do these TV shows, same thing with like Game of Thrones. Okay, the authors of these books, graphic novels, whatever, whoever's the originator, of this content originally, has to, to some degree, in a lot of cases, I'm not sure how the legalities of it all work, but in most cases, they have either some creative input or they basically give their blessing or whatever to the people that are making these shows. Now, like, I had heard, oh my god, and I feel terrible for blanking on his name. The guy that did The Walking Dead, was it Kirkman? Robert Kirkman?
Yeah, Robert Kirkman.
Thank you. I heard him say, like, I heard him say before, when people talked about the differences between the graphic novels to the TV show or whatever, he's like, well, yeah, I think it's interesting and it's good to have some original ideas, but they've overall held true to everything. Obviously, there was some stuff, like in the graphic novels, the stuff with Negan was like way worse and way darker than anything you could do on TV, like without it being considered like a fucking snuff film or something. So obviously
Same with the Governor. Yeah.
So there are certain limitations. within reason, and that's a good example of that there.
This was not. I'm
right.
Don't freaking. Look.
Okay.
This is like fucking what they did to Halo. Is pretty much if they took Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And made movies about it, but the only thing they held true to the game was the fact that there were zombies.
Yeah. And then it would just be another zombie movie.
That's what the fucking thing was. This was an alien. This was a series about soldiers fighting aliens, and that's pretty much how it held true to the game or any of the books that were out there. It was ridiculous. Like by the third episode, the Master Chief is on the run from the UNSC. Don't fucking talk to me.
Okay, all right. I don't want to anger you anymore, and I'm gonna talk you off the ledge with giving you.
I'm gonna keep going here. You spewed on for 8 years about Resident Evil, so you'll listen to me.
And then I'll have my turn.
Okay, I thought you were done. I thought you were literally like I thought you were like saying I don't want to get worked up.
No, he's gonna keep going, and that's not an insult. Go for it, Ransom.
Don Piano. Listen, like okay, I don't wanna. It was such a disappointment. Like, for years, I wanted a Halo movie franchise or a series. For years. This, and again, I'm a Halo apologist, but I make no apologies about it. Fucking fight me. This fucking game has probably the best, most cohesive, most in-depth, most interesting story of any video game that I've ever fucking played. I'll entertain arguments, but like you have everything written in front of you. You have it all laid out. You have the blueprints for a perfect movie franchise or television series that could go on for 10 fucking seasons. It's laid out in front of you. You have the blueprints for all of it. You don't have to do a shot-for-shot remake, but you have the foundations right in front of you. All you have to do is go, oh, I've played the game. Let's make a fucking movie. Or let's make a damn series about it. You have the entire foundations of a story. They took the characters and the universe and went completely off into left field and did their own completely different thing. This should not have been titled Halo. It should have been something completely different. It should have just been Armored Soldier Fights Aliens Season 1. What a grand disappointment.
That sucks. I'm
so upset.
That really deters me from even giving it a chance. Here's something.
Maybe you'll appreciate it more than I did, but I couldn't.
Probably not because again I've played the games up everything except Infinite. I haven't played Infinite. But I mean, like, just remembering, I know I talked to you about it like the first time after I got done playing Reach. Don't worry, Poot. I'm gonna let you talk. Trust me. I'm not gonna beef you.
No. That wasn't what it was. It was that like I was just kind of giving it because I never like I played Halo, but I played like multiplayer Halo. I never had the experience of like the story and all that.
Oh my gosh, it's the best video game story out there.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I could make the fucking argument otherwise, but I haven't done it. I haven't done it, so I can't make that statement.
Listen, Poot, play the campaign of Halo Reach. I'm telling you, by the time you get to the end of that game, it's gonna hit you in the feels.
It's gonna hit me in the feels.
I have never been so depressed as a third party invested in a character than I was at the end of that game. I kept thinking there's got to be one more level. There's got to be one more scene. There's got to be one more something. Like, it takes you as the player of this game that gets invested in the character that he's playing, and at the end of that, I was sad. Like, not sad the game was over, not disappointed in how it ended. I was sad because of the character that I was playing as, how the game concluded for this character. Like, it legitimately made me sad. I have never played another video game where at the end of it, I had that kind of emotional reaction towards the end of a story in a game before. Never.
Yep.
And that's widely touted as the worst
Wow.
Halo to date.
Really?
What, Reach?
Yes. Reach is widely touted as
Really?
the worst Halo game.
That's
oh, yeah.
crazy.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I
And if
wonder.
that is the worst of the Halo games, fuck you, this is the best franchise ever.
I wonder why that is, and I wonder if it's because the fact that it came out after like the second or third Halo game, right?
It came out after 3.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. I wonder why people have that reaction if it's widely regarded that way. Is it just because we already kind of had an idea of what was going to happen? I mean, but like anytime you have a prequel, like you always know what's ultimately going to happen. I think it's interesting to see how you get to, how you get to where you're at from there.
It was phenomenal.
I'm gonna also I'll give you guys one more of a thing to avoid. Now, I don't know how big of a Stephen King fan either one of you are, or anybody that's listening. If
Talking about the Dark Tower movies, you don't have to say anything. You can say the rest. I think the world knows.
Well, I was going to say if you read the Dark Tower books, if you never read the books and you saw the movie and you thought the movie was bad, trust me, go read the books and do yourself a favor, invest the time into the books, because it is such an amazing set of storytelling. And I like,
well, they crammed multiple novels into one movie.
Exactly. They basically took 7 books and tried to cram it into one movie.
Nope.
And now I like one of my previous clients that I had whenever I was doing massage, she was a huge Stephen King fan, had like 4 different versions of the book The Stand, which is like a fucking tome itself. But I asked her, I said, this is like right after the movie had come out. I was like, so did you see the movie? She's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, you're obviously a mega fan. What did you think? She's like, I didn't like it. She's like, I think they tried to, take too much and cram it all into one movie. I was like, my original thought when I read the was, my God, if they ever did a movie or movies based off this, like you had like, just like the Harry Potter franchise, you had like, Harry Potter. You had like 7 movies there or whatever, like at your like you had this stuff tailor made. Each book could have been its own movie, and you could have had such a long, amazing series, and it would have been such a great storytelling adventure. But
there's always a but.
Yeah, the fact that I was as captivated by these books as I was on my last deployment overseas, getting off of like a 6-hour security post, getting off post and knowing like, okay, well, I have 6 hours on and then like, how many hours off until we either go out on patrol or I got to stay in another security post again or whatever. And I would take like an hour to 2 hours and just fucking dive into these books to the point where I was like nodding off, and I'm like, okay, I got to finish this page, or I got to finish this. I'm like, how much longer to the end of the chapter? Okay, let me get to the end of the chapter. Or too long? Okay, let me get to the end of this page or this section of whatever's happening. Like I was so captivated. Now
D's nuts.
Now it's really hard for me to sit down and actually read a book, because it's hard for me to hold my attention that long just for that. Now, for video games, different thing. Poot knows, Loop Hero. Fucking.
Oh my God. I had no idea just showing you a game casually was going to fucking eat like 3 weeks of your life.
It rocked my fucking world, man.
That game, I'll tell you what.
I got to the point where I was like messaging Putin, like, hey, check it out. I figured this out. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, you're so much further into this than I am. I was like, I've been going ham on it, man.
Dude, well, no. And it's because like I'm at the point in my life where I love playing video games. I love reading books. I love playing guitar. I love listening to music. Man, I'm at the point in my life, and I've talked to you too about this, about being, when I'm done with work, I'm peopled out.
Yep.
Like I'm done. I need something passive. I need something that's not going to, mentally or physically exhaust me. And so I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of movies. When I do get to play video games, it's stuff like Loop Hero that you can play for either 15 minutes and get a good run in, or you can play for like 9 hours.
Yep.
Like those are the kind of games that I sit in now. Like I had purchased on sale Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
boy.
No, and exactly the noise that Ransom made when I told people that I have this game, that I want to play this game, they get all fucking hyped and excited. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. But the problem is with a game like that, and a game like Elden Ring, and a game like Metal Gear Solid 5, or frankly, any Metal Gear Solid game.
I still have to play 4 and 5, but go on.
What's another one I have downloaded that's time consuming? My point is, these games require actual time input. They require you, if you're going to sit down and play this game, be ready for a minimum of 2 hours. And I don't have that at my disposal. That's why I like games like Cult of the Lamb, Binding of Isaac, Loop Hero, Inscription. Like any of these games that can be popcorn games, but also games that when you have time, you can sit down and invest in them. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, no, I get it. Like lately, I've been,
oh my heavens,
for no reason, I decided to take on doing a replay. God damn it!
I've heard enough of what you've played.
Tom, it's your time. It's your turn.
What have you played, Ransom?
You fucking your mother.
Gross.
Judy Bungo is a saint.
Judy Bungo's on Xbox Live. Let me tell you.
You know what? I'm gonna take Judy Bungo out for a nice chicken dinner and then never call her again.
Fucking Warzone. Call of Duty Warzone is a goddamn time suck.
Oh well.
Final Fantasy VII is a time suck.
Stardew Valley is a time suck.
Speaking of time sucks, fucking shut up. And it's been 800 years since we did a Breaking Kayfabe and had a Would You Rather.
Oh, man.
Oh, yay!
3 decades have passed since we've done something like that.
Yes.
And I find myself every once in a while watching something, reading something, doing something, and I have that thought. Would you rather this or that? And the first thing that goes through my head is, damn it, I wish we were on the podcast and we could hash this out.
Did you write any of them down?
Not a single fucking one.
Damn it.
Not a bleeding one of them. So let me say this. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Oh, those headlights blinded me. Oh, those were high beams in my corneas. I got something here for you, you two knuckle draggers. Knuckle
Knuck'em cuck'ems.
sphincters.
Did you call me a cuckold?
I called you a cuck'em. That's what I called you.
What?
What?
Listen. Would you rather be able to fly, but you can only fly 1 foot off the ground? Or would you rather be able to talk to animals, but when the animals answer you, they answer you in your voice. Everybody else can hear them, and every single animal you talk to is racist.
Oh, damn it.
I'd rather fly a foot off the ground. The other option sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, like you had me with the animal stuff until you said that every one of them was going to be racist.
No, I was because fuck 'em.
no, because flying a foot off the ground, I'm like, well, I could jump higher than a foot, so like, how is this practically useful?
You can jump when you're flying.
Well, I'm saying, okay.
Can you imagine? Poot?
What?
Poot? You're a
What?
fan of the hijinks, right?
Yeah.
You're a fan of the fucking hijinks.
Of all of the hijinks, you know how much I love my chicanery and flim-flams.
Right. So would that not make for a rather interesting life?
It would be
Like you...
Yeah,
Not all animals are constantly talking at you in your voice and being racist. They only answer you. Like, people can only hear the animals answer you if you talk to them.
And do they only talk to you if you ask them a question? Like, they do not.
Yeah, well, they only talk to you if you engage them first.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but they answer you, and other people hear your voice saying racist things.
Well, I mean, the racist answers have to make sense. You know what I mean? Like, if you're sitting on your porch and you say something like you have a dog and you're sitting on your porch with your dog, and there's people milling about the street, and you say to your dog like, "Oh, what do you think? You want to get something to eat?"
Be careful.
And your dog answers you and says something like, "Yeah, I'll get something to eat as long as it's not fucking potatoes, because those Irish fuckings, and their potatoes. Look at those McIdiots."
And you could say that because you're Irish.
I sure can. And how dare you try to not potato me?
I'm just saying.
What?
But my point is, okay, but you're thinking of the context of you and your dog. I'm thinking about the fact that, I'm out somewhere and there's some kind of fuckery happening that's interesting, and I go, "Hey, squirrel, what'd you hear?" And then the squirrel answers me in some incredibly fucking racist thing, and it sounds just like me. And there's a guy who's standing next to me, goes, "This guy over here is a phony. He's a racist."
That's what makes it interesting, because you got to pick your moments, man. If you're in your house by yourself talking to your cat, it don't matter.
Don't talk about what I do with my Friday nights. My point is, if you would have looked at me and said, "Poot," oh wait, sorry, I didn't say that right. Poot. If you would have looked at me and said, "Hey, Poot, you can either fly a foot off the ground, or you can go ahead and talk to animals, but they can only answer you in racist Beef's voice," obviously that's a no-brainer.
All right, so different. So as long as it's not as long as it's not sounding like your mouth is spewing the racism, you're good.
Bingo.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But I still stand by flying a foot off the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with flying a foot off the ground, because I don't care whose voice it is and in what context. I'm not down for a whole bunch of random racist comments.
We talked about this earlier in the podcast. We don't care about race.
Yeah, we definitely did. Oh boy.
No, so okay, well, let's see. Let's see if I can come up with a good one on the fly. Let's see. Would you rather be able to produce peanut butter from your fingertips?
Uh-oh.
Or would you rather be able to never get sick again, but when you were supposed to get sick, you cry spaghetti?
Oh, I don't like things with eyeballs. So having spaghetti come out of my eyeballs, no way in hell.
Okay.
No.
But think about it this way. If you were supposed to, like at a time in your life when you were supposed to get sick, instead of getting sick, you cry spaghetti. I know how much you love noodles.
No, man.
Wow.
Like I can't deal with eye things. That's why I don't wear contacts. Because
Really?
I can't bring myself to the point to put this little plastic lens on my finger and then pry my eyeball open with the other hand and stick this plastic lens to my eye. Like I can't do it.
I never knew that about you. Okay. That's we're learning.
I sat in a fucking optometrist office for an hour and a half because they were like, okay, well, before we let you leave, you've got to put it in and you got to take it out so that, we know that you can do it and you're not going to, fucking freak out. I got him in finally after 20 minutes. And the rest of that hour and a half was me trying to figure out how to get that fucking contact out of my eyeball.
Oh no.
It was the worst. And after that, I'm like, you know what? I don't need them. Let's give me my glasses back. I'm out of here.
See, I've had mine for God. I think probably since like high school. That I've had contacts. I've never had a problem with it. Like whenever they do the little eye test and they give you like the puff of air, I hardly flinch. I mean, like obviously I'm gonna flinch some because there's a fucking puff of air going into your eyeball, but I guess that's supposed to be like determining that like your
it determines glaucoma.
Yeah.
It's a glaucoma test.
So what would you rather do? Spaghetti eyeballs or peanut butter fingers?
I have one question in regards to spaghetti eyeball spaghetti. Are you continuously crying spaghetti? And if so, for how long? Is it supposed to be like for the duration of how long you would have been sick? Like if I have like a 24-hour flu bug, am I going to be crying spaghetti for like 24 hours straight, or like how's this work?
No,
I've had colds for weeks.
Go ahead.
I've had colds for weeks.
That's what I'm asking. Like this is.
Yeah, I won't have enough garbage bags in my house to constantly collect the amount of spaghetti that's coming out of my face.
You're not constantly weeping spaghetti. You're not constantly weeping spaghetti. Okay, let's get that clear.
So do you cry spaghetti if you would just normally cry? Like if this is a moment in my life where I would cry.
Once a day during the duration of when you were supposed to be sick, you would cry spaghetti for half an hour.
Peanut butter fingers. I can't do it.
Yeah, and the peanut butter fingers I can control at my own whim. Man, I mean, I love spaghetti more than I love peanut butter, but that seems like a huge inconvenience. I'm going to go with peanut butter fingers. I have a feeling that Poot's going to go with spaghetti eyes.
Oh, also, by the way, Tom, your statement that you love spaghetti more than peanut butter, it's okay to be wrong.
What?
You guys would be wildly wrong. I would go with peanut butter fingers. Fuck you. Okay. Peanut butter on demand? Hell yeah. My favorite sandwich. My favorite sandwich of all time is peanut butter and fucking jelly, bitch. Like I didn't get jelly.
You do a peanut butter and KY sandwich? What's going on there?
I didn't. For a second, he was going to say my favorite sandwich of all time is peanut butter and fuck you.
I thought so too.
Peanut butter.
I really did.
Fuck you.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I eat a peanut butter sandwich literally every day. I take one with me to work because I don't have to worry about taking lunch meat and keeping it like refrigerated or anything like that. Granted, I have ice packs in my little fucking cooler bag that I bring my entire life with me on the road. But like, I don't have to worry about keeping the sandwich fresh or anything. I throw it in a Tupperware container and go. So, I mean, I have peanut butter every day, and I'm not sick of it by any means, but I don't know. Spaghetti, I always like, I love spaghetti. It's I don't know. Pasta, Italian food, good comfort food.
But peanut butter fingers, Poot?
Oh, peanut butter fingers all the way. If I could have peanut butter on demand at any time, dude, I would never be sad ever again. I would have my comfort food with me all the time.
That's interesting. Great. Yeah.
All right, Tom, do you have one? I came up with peanut butter fingers or all right, Ransom, you want to go again, or do you want me to come up with one?
I'll think
right.
of another one in a minute. I got to grab a drink. So you think up what you talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I need a bev.
Damn.
Oh my damn.